Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our second triannual STIC meeting. My name is Vicki Tilghman-Ansley. I'm from New Jersey Department of Transportation, BRIT, Bureau of Research, Innovation, and Information Transfer. Uh, Today, we're going to have our meeting schedule. I already put an agenda, so please take a look at it before we start the meeting. Next, please. Yeah, to provide us welcome remarks, I would like to welcome Amanda Gendek, Deputy Director, State Fair Planning. Amanda, please.
Sure. Thanks, Gary. And good morning, everyone. I'm attending in place of Eric Powers, who unfortunately had to step away for a commissioner meeting. So I'm going to be welcoming you all to the meeting. And I'm just going to briefly go over the agenda really quick. So we're going to have some FHWA updates from Chris Page. And then Gary's going to do a Mentimeter activity. Those are always exciting. And then we're going to hear our updates from all of our core innovation area teams. And then our feature presentation is going to be by Vicki Tilghman-Ansley, our Director of Civil Rights and Affirmative Action. And she's going to be talking to us about overcoming challenges, recruiting, developing, and maintaining a workforce to meet current and future highway construction needs. And I just want to make a note that that sort of ties into our research showcase theme, workforce development. That's going to be happening in October. So with all of that being said, I'm going to turn it back over to our STIC executive team and let you carry on with your agenda.
Thank you so much, Amanda. I really appreciate your remarks. Next, please. Yeah, this is the title of the feature presentation. We're going to see the presentation at the end of our updates. Next, please. Chris, unfortunately, he's not making the meeting for today, so he conveyed that he don't have any FSW updates for our meeting. If there are any, he's going to let us know in the future. So thank you, Chris, for that. Next. Okay, Mentimeter engagement activity summary, because today we don't have any Mentimeter activity, but I just want to give you like what we did in the last meeting. What kind of perceptions, what kind of how we are all thinking about innovation. That's what I would just want to give you, whether we are all in same page or we think differently. So next slide, please. The main objective, the survey that we conducted last triannual meeting, is to see how we all think about innovation, what kind of initiatives that we are all working, what kind of challenges, what kind of support you think you needed from us as a STIC members, and what are the cool projects that you are working in innovations. That's our goal to see. So next slide, please. The perception of innovation, yes, we all think the same thing, like creativity, thinking outside of the box, and efficiency and progress, and change and new technologies. So we all embrace the new technology. So that's what the for innovation means to us as a transportation community here. And other quotes along with that came is like risk taking, enhancing existing systems, new solutions. So next one, please. Ongoing initiatives. So many of you mentioned like AI integration and smart vehicle testing, electric vehicle infrastructure, weather savvy pilots and automated shuttle deployment. So some of the initiatives also on safety, efficiency and sustainability. So there's a lot going on within our transportation community. Next. What are the common challenges that we all face? So that's the most important thing that we want to address every time. One of the biggest challenges is organization silos and siloed perspectives. So everyone work independently, some of the innovations. So if it can be shared or collaborative effect, we all can benefit from these kind of activities. And lack of funding and resources and resistance to change. Sometimes resistance to change is quite inevitable, but knowing the benefits of innovation can really help all of us. And also additional issues that we face is fear of risk. Risk taking is a big part in innovation. We all agree. The survey also showed that, and also the IT challenges, especially technologies and AI. So these are the challenges that we all embraced in last survey. Next slide, please. Support. What kind of support we ask you to tell us, and you all want to foster a culture of innovation. So we have an innovation program that is coming up from Brit side, from NJDOT side. I think that's going to address the for that, and advocate for pilot projects and provide funding. The innovation program can also tackle pilot projects from various units within the department and facilitates communication and collaboration. So meetings like NJSTIC or other venues will definitely help to collaborate towards the innovation side. And additional recommendations, this is quite interesting for us also, engaging global experts and academia. So we will think and we'll talk to our leadership, see how that feasible to bring at least for academia some kind of innovation to our STIC programs. Next, please. And notable innovations in NJDO, in NJ, automated enforcement options, green infrastructure projects, AI in transportation, mostly safety, efficiency, and environmental management units. They were using all these kind of innovations projects. STIC, we really hope that will bring one of these project highlights to our meetings in coming future meetings so that we all can see what are those innovations looks like and how they are benefiting. Next one, please. And finally, the conclusion, like we all highlighted the strong interest in innovation to enhance our NJDOT mission or NJ statewide mission for all of our agencies like safety, efficiency, and sustainability. So we want to learn from each other and collaborative efforts. That's most important part that we learned from our survey. So call to action items. So STIC, we will incorporate all of your suggestions. We'll take it to our leadership and we will introduce these topics one by one at later stages. So that's all the sum up. So from the survey that we conducted last triannual meeting, we will have next year or next triannual meeting also. We'll try to have one more Mentimeter for end of the year surveys. Thank you, Devin. So next one, please. Okay, with that, I would like to invite our core innovation area team leads to present their updates on their EDC initiatives. The first we will see from safety, then planning, then infrastructure, mobility, and finally operations support improvement. Safety, next slide, please.
Thank you, Giri.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Giri, and the team for giving us this opportunity to present the updates on the two initiatives that we have for safety. Next slide, please.
All right,
Yep. All right, Alan, take it over.
All right. Thanks, Jeevan. So first for safety, I'll give you a quick update on the pedestrian scale lighting research and guide. As part of NJDOT's task for the NJDOT Bicycle and Pedestrian Resource Center, Rutgers VTC and Rowan University continue to edit and review their draft pedestrian scale lighting resource. This resource, aimed at county and municipal planners, is designed to help communities identify and implement effective pedestrian lighting solutions and enhance pedestrian safety by addressing visibility as a contributing factor to fatality and serious injury crashes. Rowan and BTC are in the revisions process of integrating comments from subject matter experts into the draft text of the pedestrian scale lighting resource to be shared with DOT. The draft pedestrian scale lighting resource includes an introduction and background on pedestrian scale lighting, how to scope projects and identify locations with the highest safety needs, what data are needed to plan and design pedestrian scale lighting, an overview of the understand to advance safety pedestrian scale lighting projects, and how to work with utility companies. The guide will also cover new technologies and discuss cost and environmental considerations. And now I'll hand it back to Jeevan.
Thank you, Alan. Now for the second initiative, which is the New Jersey DOT task order for backplates with retroreflective borders, which also helps highlight the traffic signals for nighttime visibility and safety. So the department, under an existing task order contract, is finalizing the design of traffic signal pole and mast arm details in compliance with the 2015 AASHTO requirements for signalized intersection installations. The updated design will further improve the integration of backplates with retroreflective borders on traffic signal indications. And NJDOT is in the process of review, which will be completed very shortly. For all the proposed changes, it is my understanding that we have comments from certain stakeholders, and we're just entering the or moving on towards the end of that comment phase. So upon completion, these details will streamline the process for new installations to install backplates on all signal indications in our projects, either when we are revising the signals or we are installing new signals. So that is the update on the safety innovation team. Back to you, Devin. Thank you, Giri.
Thank you, Jeevan. Any questions for our safety team? You can raise your hand or chat box. Please use any questions for our CI teams as we. Okay, one more question. Joshi, yes.
Yes, Jeevan, I want to ask you about the intersection light pole. We are so messed up. Only the retroflective is applied or and tap on a signal on the backplates, or these are only application, or messed up is something retroflective is going to introduce, or that's what my question is. So that
So
is the
Hiren,
only thing. Yeah, go ahead.
if I understand you correctly, you're asking if there's going to be any retroreflectivity on the mast arm, or is it just for
Yeah.
signal heads, right?
Yes.
So the answer to that question at this point in time is we're only looking at retroreflective. Actually, we're only looking at the back plates for signal heads with a retroreflective border, as shown in the picture in this slide. And as it is at this point in time, we see that only steel mast arms will be able to support backplates with retroreflective border on signal heads, unless this study that is being conducted by Division of Traffic Engineering comes up with some specifications and design details for aluminum. At this point in time, it does not seem likely.
All right. Thank
you. Thank you, Jeevan. Okay, next slide, please.
Thank you, Giri.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Next, we'll have our CA team planning and environment, Simon and Sean. Thanks.
Okay. Good morning. As Grid mentioned, Chris will not be available today, so I will do the presentation. Slide, please. First slide, please. Yeah, today we are going to talk about congestion mitigation and air quality, CMAQ, a federally administered program designed to fund projects that mitigate congestion, reduce emissions, improve air quality in designated non-attainment area. We're also going to talk about Carbon Reduction Program, CRP, a targeted initiative aimed at systematically reducing carbon emissions in the transportation sectors through the deployment of sustainable technology and low carbon transportation solution, and the core innovative area. The objective is to show how New Jersey and federal climate carbon goals drive transportational change and enhance climate resilience. Next, please. Similar projects are used to mitigate congestion, reduce emissions, and improve air quality in non-attainment area. We know that some parts of New Jersey are non-attainment on NOS, PM 2.5, VOC, and CO. So projects include ITS, intersection improvement, bike and pedestrian, low emission incentive, transit expansion, etc. The objective also is to significantly reduction in air pollutant and greenhouse gases. Next, please. For CRP program, the CRP project similar to CMAC, but more emphasis on carbon emission reduction in transportation through sustainable technologies. Projects include battery electric buses, complete street initiative, etc. The impact also to reduce CO emission reduction. Next, please. We collaborate with NPOs, local municipalities, transit agencies, and private sectors partners for coordinated delivery. Key performance indicators such as NOC, NOx, PM 2.5, VOC, CO, carbon dioxide reduction. Next, please. Scaling initiative. Scaling initiative is to ensure state transportation policy meet federal goals, secure sustainable funding, emphasizing long-term goals. Next, please. Next, please. Our key innovation area include electrification and zero emission vehicle, mass transit and active transportation to reduce SOV use, smart traffic management such as signal optimization, manage lanes to reduce emission. Next, please. Program and outcome include it pays to plug in. We have retrofit projects with NJDEP, which include replacing diesel equipment, encourage electric vehicle adoption. All these things help to reduce emission. Next, please. On environmental impacts. Environmental impacts include reduction in GHG, that's greenhouse gas emissions, air quality improvement, encouragement of renewable energy use. We try to align this with New Jersey's effort to lower emissions. Next, please. In conclusion, our ongoing collaboration and transparency to achieve decarbonization goals, we encourage stakeholders' engagement and active participation in future projects. Next, thank you. Next, which is thank you.
Thank you, Simon. Any questions for Simon team? I didn't hear anything. Thank you, Simon, one more time. Thank you. Next one,
thank
please.
you.
Yeah. Next, we will have our CA team infrastructure preservation. Bob Signora, so please. Bob here. Anyone from infrastructure team here? Yeah, next slide, please. I can just walk over because this thing we have EDC7 Epic internal cured concrete. They are the one who applied for STIC incentive grant also. I think they purchased, next slide, please. Some of these centrifuged, these equipments for various testing, various projects. I think the projects are in pipeline right now. They want to use this equipment to other projects also. So the next one, please. Yes, they are working on some FSWA webinar series regarding to this internal cured concrete, and also test labs were casted for pilot projects. I think Brit is also doing one of research projects using internal cured concrete. So we are collaborating with this team also. So yeah, these are the updates, I believe, from this team. Next, please. Yeah, next. Next. Next, we'll have transportation mobility CI team. Tom Murphy.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Next slide, please. So a couple quick updates for us. First, starting with our pilot weather savvy roads. We've been running this since about 2020, and one of the weak points of the pilot has been, since it started, is the tablet computer that's in the cab of the vehicles. I say it's a weak point because the tablet processes the data that comes from the sensor, and we have found over the years that there have been issues with this, whether it be drivers turning off the tablet, so therefore the data does not get processed and doesn't get sent, or there have been updates to Windows over the Windows 11 for the past few years, where sometimes the tablet goes to sleep and locks, and therefore it's not processing the data that needs to be sent. So what we have done in conjunction with NJIT, Drs. Bashensky and Dmitrievich, as well as EAI down in Cherry Hill, is the serial cable that connects the sensor to the tablet has actually been essentially spliced. So the data still goes to the tablet so the drivers can see the weather information on the roads that they're driving on. But the tablet no longer processes and sends the data to NJIT's servers. Now it is actually the Sierra wireless router sending the information directly over to NJIT's servers. So with this, we're seeing improved operability and better data and more consistent data readings of the weather data that we are collecting. And this is something we've done on 3 trucks so far, and we're going to be expanding to the rest of the fleet of 45 as we see every truck starting basically between now and the beginning of the winter season. Next slide, please. Our truck parking pilot is currently operational in Harding and down in Carneys Point. And we've been running this for a couple of years as well. The big addition that we've done to this is out on 78 and on 287, there are 2 portable DMS signs that will have the number of available spots for Harding available to commercial vehicle drivers and truckers. Previously, this is data that we were collecting and had on our own internal web page so we could understand how our lots are being used. This is our first step in making this information available to the public. And on our webpage, we will also have our internal resource center truck parking webpage. We'll have a camera set up for the DMS sign so we can monitor it remotely as well. The next step for us is also the Knowlton Rest area off I-80. This has been ongoing just to kind of get this off the ground. And we're just going through some stages of procurement now so we can get started with that, hopefully in the next coming weeks or month or so. Next slide, please. So I know in complete teams and probably other STIC meetings, we've talked about our procurement of streetlight data. We had this for a little over a year, but it went dark for a couple months between May and July, just due to contracts with the University of Maryland, who we buy our traffic data through. Our streetlight data is back up and running. So for those of you who had access previously, you are able to go use that again. I know there are some people who have reached out to us in the past about getting access to streetlight. We do have limited seats for it. I believe it's limited to 30 for us across the department. So for those of you who do have a need for it, reach out to us. And we'll see if there's a way we can get you either temporary access or find a way to be able to get into streetlight and get some trainings so you know how to use it as well. Next slide, please. And so the next couple slides here are relatively quick, but it's about our the new ATMS system that we launched here in New Jersey. This is New Jersey's first ATMS system. The product is iNet by Parsons. And if anyone has ever been to STIMC, you see the operators there on the floor. They have 6 different computer monitors. They might have 10 different programs or more running in order to do their job. And it's way too much. We're asking them to do a lot of work, navigate through a lot of screens, and at times duplicate their entries into different databases. That is no more. What iNet is it's a map. It's a Windows browser interface, and it allows basically from a map people to be able to enter incidents, view traffic speeds, view different assets like SSP, the CCTV, the DMS boards throughout the state. And what happens is if you enter an event into the ATMS system, basically a decision support system kicks into place. Okay, you have this road closed, this right lane closed on 287. Here are the DMS signs 10 miles leading up to it or 15 miles leading up to it on 287, but also on the roads coming into 287, letting them know that there is this lane closed, and that there would be some additional traffic. But also bringing up the CCTV cameras for the operators to be able to immediately go and see what is there on the road and see the backup that is being caused. So this is a huge development for us here at NJDOT, and this is something that we've actually just won an award for. Mike Giuliano accepted on the department's behalf, and we're very proud of it. Next slide, please. And so it's not just STIMC using it, it's pretty much operations wide. So obviously STIMC up in Woodbridge, Mock South down in Cherry Hill, CDU out in Hamilton, the IMERT team are using it, the SSP team are using it, and it's also helping with law enforcement coordination and collaboration. Next slide, please. And so this went live on April 29th. Leading up to the launch, there had been numerous trainings going on both in Woodbridge, down in Cherry Hill, for true hands-on training for it in a developmental platform, but also in the live platform. So that way everyone would know what they're doing day one once everything started. This is phase one, I believe, of 10 years of integrating all of this. So there are going to be additional modules that are added as we go, more functions as we go, and we've been working hand in hand with Parsons and HNTB to make this all happen. Next slide, please. Actually, I believe that's my last slide. So thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you, Tom. Any questions for Tom and Vandana here?
So I just wanted to say that we, of course, that's one of the biggest achievement, winning an award. It was 2025 Excellence in Engineering Award from NJ Alliance for Action for the INET deployment. I can hear the echo. But yeah, it's a big achievement because software deployments are very, very hard. And we had two business partners, technical partners like HNTB and Parsons. So all the three agencies, we accepted the award regarding that. So yes, thank you so much. It's a big achievement. It was a big teamwork. A lot of hours were put in by all the three agencies, and of course MJ really worked very hard for that, and so did HNTB. You saw the presentation from Jeff Arch a few months back on INET and how STEM said that how it was so hard to deploy. So I think it's a great achievement for the department to finally, implement that INET platform.
Absolutely. Congratulations for you and your team.
Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. A lot of hard work.
Simon, you have a question for?
Yes, street light program.
Yes, Simon.
I did have training on it about 7 or 5 years ago. Can you organize a refresher training? Because I'm in need of the program right now because I've forgotten what we did, and I tried to get my OD from the program. I couldn't. So can you organize a refresher training, maybe 4 hours, so that we can start using the program? Okay,
Sure, Simon. So what happens is, we have regular meetings and regular trainings that Streetlight provides. They're very good with that. And if there are any questions that we have, if there are any corridor we want to talk about, they're very, very open on that. And I am going to see when we can schedule a training, a refresher. And I think we have a meeting today, but I'm going to make sure that you are invited in those trainings that happen.
Yeah, because what I want to do is statewide. It's not necessarily a particular corridor. This one, I want to use it for statewide or the network in the state. So,
gotcha.
Especially the NHS or federal aid roads. So, okay.
No, we will definitely do that. We provide regular trainings to the users, and now a lot of new users have been added. So we will definitely have a training coming up. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you, Vandana. This is Neha Galgali. Thank you. I got the access to the streetlight as well. I'm really glad, and I've been playing with it, and I'm taking some tutorials on my own. But I would like to be a part of that training if you have any. Thank you.
Oh, definitely. So what we did last year, we did the in-person training too. And what we do is that whoever the users are, every few months we have a kind of a meeting and where they discuss the new tools that Streetlight has introduced. So I will be very, very happy to have you in those trainings too. And in the
Thank you.
meantime, if you have any questions regarding anything, just shoot me an email and we'll try to figure it out.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?
I think that's it. Thank you again, Tom and Vandana. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next one,
Thank you, Tom.
Devin. Yeah. Next, we will have our final CA update, organizational support and improvement by Crystal Walker. Crystal?
Hi, can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Good morning. Okay, just gonna get started. If you just can advance the slide. Okay. So for the most part, we're still in this, a lot of the updates are remaining the same from our last time. So we're still in the development stage. So with funding, although funding approvals were confirmed by FHWA, the release of additional funding has been limited due to pauses within funding and other restraints. So still under these current circumstances, and it has been also recommended that we procure professional training services internally through the Division of Procurement and through Department of Labor and Workforce Development. So our SME, Vicki, which will be on a little bit later, she is working closely with Department of Labor to get a lot of movement up and running. So the partnerships still conclude. We will be partnering with Department of Labor, Workforce and Development Services, which includes procuring training services and preparing individuals for apprenticeship programs and customizing transportation-related training to include counseling, pre-screening services for NJDOT, and also working with the Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs. We are no longer working on that oversight due to changes. So we actually will be working independently with outreaching and other related activities. So we are working more with labor, and unfortunately, due to earlier this year, we are no longer able to work with the federal compliance programs. Next slide, please. So within the contractor compliance unit, collaboration efforts still do continue. The last construction contracting industry meeting was held in June, and the topics that were discussed was disadvantages within businesses, unions and apprenticeship programs, aging of the workforce, methodologies to increase membership, spreading awareness on opportunities for employment and advancement with the highway construction industry. Also hosting a dual open house for individuals interested in working with NJDOT's construction projects internally with NJDOT or externally with NJDOT construction contractors. The next scheduled construction contractor industry meeting will be held later this month of August to discuss the actual moving forward with the pilot program. Next slide, please. And that is the conclusion of our update. Is for the most part, everything has maintained the same, but we do look forward to having more movement within our next update as to the implementation of getting that pilot up and running. Is there any questions?
Yeah. Thank you, Crystal. Any questions for our organization support team?
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Crystal. Yeah, next one. Okay, now we'll have our feature presentation for today's STIC meeting, overcoming challenges, recruiting, developing, and maintaining a workforce to meet current and future highway construction needs by Vicki Tilghman-Ansley, so from Civil Rights and Affirmation Action. Vicki, please.
Good morning. Am I going to share my screen?
We're gonna share.
You have
slides. Yeah, we have it.
Okay. Thank you.
Just give me 1 second. go.
Can you see my slides?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. So I think you may have to like click because I think yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. So I'm not ready to go to that screen yet, but anyway, I'm just going to discuss briefly how we're going to overcome some challenges that we're currently dealing with as it relates to recruiting, developing, and maintaining a workforce to meet current and future highway construction and maintenance needs. Next slide. Just briefly, what I'm not going to discuss, although in our program, it's like a dual program. It's going to help internal workforces, where we're having difficulty recruiting and maintaining and developing the workforce internally, C&M techs, highway operation technician trainees. Our program is going to be a dual program, but I'm going to focus primarily on the external program, the construction workforce, with our contractors. So first, I wanted to just go over the history of equal employment opportunity workforce development and training programs. Several important laws were passed to improve equal employment opportunities. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibited discrimination in employment. Then we have the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1968, which kind of complements the Title VI Civil Rights Act, because there's a large section in that act that required equal employment opportunity in the federally funded highway construction workforce. And then Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972 was introduced, or passed, I should say, where prohibited discrimination based on gender and opened opportunities for women in educational areas traditionally aimed at men. Like, for example, high school shop classes were not open to women. Only men, or boys, I should say, because, we're talking high school. And then in 1975, FHWA introduced Title 23 CFR Part 230. And this was the regulation where special requirements for on-the-job training and supportive services for individuals participating in OJT and other training programs. This regulation really emphasized equal employment opportunity, and there are aspects of that regulation that requires the department to ensure that we have equality in the highway construction, and that it's open and supportive of women, minorities, other disadvantaged, and that there's, opportunities for all, I should say. The next slide. So New Jersey Department of Transportation, like other state departments of transportation that gets federal funding, has on-the-job training program and requirements. And in the on-the-job training program, which was born out of the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1968, we're required to assess all the upcoming projects to determine if they can support training goals. Similar to how we set disadvantaged business enterprise and small business enterprise goals on our projects, we're also required to assign training goals, if applicable, on our federally funded projects. And we normally base those goals on the work to be performed on the project, the estimated number of days the project will be active. Short projects don't lend themselves to training goals because it's not adequate, for time. And normally, if they're short projects, they don't have a lot of employees as well. And there's a formula, there's a detailed script or guidelines and criteria that we use to assess the training goals on projects. Successful implementation of the on-the-job training program helps develop a competent and diverse workforce to meet current and future hiring needs. And while we do have that program, it is in place. We implement it on our projects. It's not as effective as it should be because we do have a lot of barriers in implementing the program. Next slide. So we also have on-the-job supportive services program. It's on-the-job training supportive services program, rather. And the goal of the supportive services is to support the on-the-job training programs and other programs that are aimed at helping individuals prepare for and succeed in skilled trades that are utilized in our highway construction workforce. It prepares individuals for work in highway construction and union apprenticeship programs, such as funding pre-apprenticeship training programs, supports contractors and assisting them with recruiting and counseling and other remedial training for individuals that are interested in succeeding and getting into the highway construction trades. It supports mentorships and other initiatives that provide ongoing support and guidance during and after training. But one of the main obstacles we have experienced in support from is support from the unions. Getting individuals that are ready and prepared to get into the union apprenticeship programs has been tough, even though they may have gone through a supportive services and pre-apprenticeship training and other guidance and instruction. It's been kind of difficult to get individuals into the union apprenticeship programs. It might be a little easier now because there is a I'm going to say they're losing staff through, aging, and there aren't a lot of individuals interested in going into the skilled trades. Next slide. So I'm going to discuss some of the challenges that we have in New Jersey as it relates to construction and especially construction, our workforce construction on highway with our highway contractors. New Jersey's highly unionized, and our construction projects are primarily staffed by union workers. Unions provoked a major change in our on-the-job training program several years after the program began. When the program began, we were able to recruit individuals off the street, so to speak, that were interested in going into and learning more about, construction workforce opportunities. And so we were able to put them through a supportive services program and assign them to contractors, and contractors were utilizing them to meet their on-the-job training goals. Sometime in the early 80s, unions, they were able to lobby and change that, getting people from off the streets. And we were required to get our training goals and training assignments, or the contractors, I should say, were required to go to the unions to meet their on-the-job training goals. So anyone that was participating in the on-the-job training program in New Jersey, and other unionized states, they came from the union halls. And sometimes it was a challenge to get women and minorities in those on-the-job training programs and with those opportunities. Because by and large, unions provide the trainees required to fulfill the training goal requirements on our highway projects. Contractors compete amongst themselves for the individuals to meet their workforce and on-the-job training requirements, and there are labor shortages at times. So sometimes they're recycling the same individuals that participate in the training programs, and that's basically not the way the program was intended to be. Next slide. More challenges. So historically, heavy highway union memberships have been non-minority male dominated, except for the labor's union. The labor's union was very well diverse, but the other unions generally are not. We have an aging workforce. As I had previously mentioned, it's not as bad as it was, but there is a declining interest in the construction trades. And sometimes it's about information. They're not, they're not sure what this is all about, what it requires, and what kind of time that's invested, and whether or not they'll succeed in pre-apprenticeship or apprenticeship programs. There's training, preparation, and skills gaps. And highway construction is different than vertical construction. There's sometimes an assumption that construction is construction, regardless of whether it's vertical, you're building a building as opposed to a highway, but it's different. And so it does require different instruction, and an electrician in a building is different than an electrician that's required on a construction project. So those are some of the things that we need to take into consideration as it relates to preparing individuals for some of these opportunities, because it's unique training. It's not always the same. And there's competition, retention, entry-level pay rates and salaries. There are also some challenges that, we need to overcome. Next slide. So we're overcoming our challenges through partnerships. We're building partnerships and agreements with heavy highway construction contractors and their unions. We meet with the UTCA, I forgot, Utility and Transportation Construction Advancement. I'm so used to calling them UTCA, I forget what the acronym stands for. But a lot of our construction contractors are members in the UTCA. So we meet with them often, and they're going to help us bring the unions to the table so that we get the union support to help us in our efforts to, develop a program that's effective and that it creates, opportunities and builds a workforce that we'll need. We're partnering with the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development for pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship training, as Crystal mentioned. We decided that they're the SMEs in this. They know how to do this. The only difficulties that we're having is that we need them to build a pre-apprenticeship program for us that is tailored to highway construction. Because as I had previously mentioned, highway construction is not equal to vertical construction in many aspects. So those are some of the discussions that we'll be having with them to ensure that the pre-apprenticeship and apprenticeship programs that we, partner to develop, that they see that we definitely need something a little bit different than, what they already have on the shelf, so to speak. We're identifying and engaging with other training providers and exploring and identifying opportunities to coordinate training through like community colleges, vocational and trade schools. And we're also developing relationships with community-based nonprofits serving women, minorities, and disadvantaged at-risk populations to help provide and facilitate information, resources, guidance, direction, and job readiness support. Next slide. So overcoming challenges, information is key. Information is power, and knowledge is key and power. So we're going to develop like feedback, scorecards, reporting, and tracking system to record and track the success of participants and external pre-apprenticeship, apprenticeship, and internal external OJT programs. Sometimes we don't know, like, are individuals actually succeeding in these programs? We don't always track, like on our OJT program, training programs and training assignments. We're not really tracking if these individuals are getting the training that they're supposed to be getting. If they're getting the training, did they complete the training? How many hours did they devote or did they get to participating in the training? Are they being utilized over and over again to meet the training goals on projects and things like that. We have to be better at developing a tracking system to make sure that we're tracking these individuals and we're determining, are they succeeding? Are they getting the training? What kinds of supportive services they may need in order to be successful and to complete the training program, from beginning to end. We're going to establish a funding source to provide supportive services and or stipends to increase training program success. We've encountered individuals that wanted to complete the program but couldn't because they had other personal concerns. Like, for example, there were women who had child care needs, and they were in a program where they weren't getting paid. So they, wanted to complete the program, but they also needed to be paid. So those are some of the barriers or challenges that we had in getting women to stay in the program, especially those who had families that they had to support and children to care for and daycare, things of that nature. We are going to develop a website that's dedicated to opportunities and benefits working in the highway construction trades. This website is going to be NJDOT as well as our construction contractors, meaning that it's going to be like a resource center. It's going to identify where opportunities are. It's going to provide information on the skilled trades and what you need to prepare for, what opportunities out there for training there are. It's just going to be a resource center that hopefully, and our aim is to ensure that it's a wealth of information and knowledge when someone is interested in learning more about working in the construction trades, highway construction trades, that is. We are going to begin hosting construction career days. We're going to pilot one just to see how it all works out in job fairs. And again, it's going to be for both the internal and external workforces and targeted workshops specific to women, minorities, and at-risk populations, and others interested in pursuing highway-related work with NJDOT and or our construction contractors. And we're going to be engaging a professional services or consultant to provide outreach, recruitment, screening, one-on-one interviews, soft life skills training, and help develop and support career days, job fairs, workshops, and other services. Next slide. And so our partnerships that we've already begun, Construction Industry Advancement Program of New Jersey, who provides, training to prepare individuals for highway construction work. Utility and Transportation Contractors Association of New Jersey, that was the UTCA I had mentioned earlier, who we meet with often, monthly, on a regular basis, I should say. Associated General Contractors of New Jersey, New Jersey Construction and General Laborers Local, our youth corps, associations for women in construction, Community Development Corporation, CDCs, New Jersey's one-stop career centers, community-based organizations and advocacy groups, and the state workforce boards. And that pretty much concludes my presentation. I don't believe there's another slide saying thank you or Q&A, or if anyone has any questions. But if anyone has any questions, let me know.
Thank you so much, Vicki. Any questions for Vicki? I don't see any questions, Vicki. So, but yeah. Thank you so much again.
Yep. Thanks.
Next one, please. Yes, we came to the conclusions here for our meeting today. Reminders, announcement. So please save the date. October 29th, 2025. We'll have our 27th annual NJDOT Research Showcase. Those who have not participated in this event is pretty much we're going to showcase our research projects, students, posters, and guest speakers and awards. So we do a lot going on this day. So please, it's very interesting collaboration and networking opportunities for all of you. And we also have a virtual option also. So please take that advantage also if you're not participating in person. So take that advantage also. So please join us. And this year's theme is preparing the workforce for the future, which is well with Vicki's presentation. We are all in the same theme here with our research showcase. Next one, please. As always, if you have any question, any ideas or anything you want to pursue, like a research slide or innovation idea that we want to take a look into, or if you know something is already working somewhere else and you want to do some pilots here at NJDOT, so we request you to send all of your interested ideas to our review. So please visit the website njdottechtransfer.net and got an idea. So you can do three ways. As I said before, if you have a general idea, research idea, or innovation idea, or market research. So we need your help and support for this. Thank you so much. Next one, please. I think for our next meeting, December 10th is our next triennial meeting for this year, and we have next year team presentation, feature presentation will be mobility and operations. If you want any of your colleague to receive this email meeting invite, so please send me an email and I will forward them the meeting invite also. Next one, please. Okay, with that, thank you all. If you have any questions for STIC members, so please send me an email and we will funnel it through whoever needs to be. Thank you so much again for joining us today.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your week. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks,
Thank you,
Ryan.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.